Hey YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. I see that it's been 10 months since you've had another set of match videos from me. That has now been rectified, and I'm now going to add a match review to that. I recently shot a 12-stage level 2 match up at the Löwenskiold shooting ranges, and here is the match review. I'm going to do the review in the order that I shot the stages. And so without any further ado, let's go straight into stage 4.
Yep. Oh, you ready? Stand by. You're finished and loading.
So stage 4 had a popper which triggered 2 of the paper targets, which were mounted on swingers, and there were a total of 7 paper targets. This was a fun stage. You know, shoot them as you see them. The only bit of strategy that I had going into it was engaging the popper before engaging the other targets beyond that curtain, and as you saw, that's exactly what I did. I'm fairly happy about both the plan I laid, about how I followed it, and my results. I did get 3 mics. Those were all on the swingers. Swingers are difficult, let's not fool ourselves, and I've spent far too little time working with them to be able to engage them in any kind of reliable manner. Beyond that, it's also been over 6 months since I last shot the Glock, and so just getting back into the swing of things. I mean, sure, I've done a fair amount of dry fire practice with it, but I haven't really shot it as much as I should have in order to be able to really do well on this. So, you know, I'm happy with how I did. Now let's have a look at stage 5.
Ready? Oh, you ready? Stand by. Finished and London show clear. Clear hammer down. Holster. Range is clear. Woo! 41.06.
Alright, so that was another fun stage. So there were 2 poppers, one which triggered the release of the hardcover window inside the car prop, and one which triggered the 2 plates which were mounted on swingers. And the rest were simply 4 paper targets. This was a very fun challenge. You pick up the gun from the table in front of you, you load it on the way out and engage. And really the biggest challenge was hitting the plates, and I was fairly happy with how I did. If you look closely, you'll see that I actually hit the hardcover in front of the plates. And you can even sort of hear it in the video. But yeah, I'm fairly happy about this. I mean, again, I got a mic. I'm not sure where that happened, and I'm annoyed that I got a couple of no-shoots, but them's the breaks. Still, you know, shaking off the rust. I was feeling pretty good about this. The biggest mental upset was when I came out of the prop and was reloading, and it just took me too much time to get the mag out of my mag pouch and into the gun. And I know it doesn't show as much in the video, but that's how it felt. Anyway, let's have a look at stage number 6.
Load make ready.
Yep.
Are you ready? Stand by. We're finished and so clear. Just clear, hammer down, holster. Race is clear. Time 22:54.
All right, another very fun stage. 2 poppers, one of them triggering a single paper target on a swinger, the other triggering a single paper target on a bobber. Again, I had a clear strategy going into this. You know, get the poppers out of the way soon so that I can let the moving targets calm down before I actually engage them. And that is where my 2 mics came from. I never engaged the swinger. So I should properly have had a procedural penalty as well. But, you know, that's the way it was. The range officer didn't pick up on it. And to be honest, I didn't pick up on it before reviewing the video myself. So them's the breaks. Pretty happy about the results otherwise, with 5 alpha hits, 5 charlie hits, and 4 deltas. And now let's have a look at stage 7.
Når vi patcher, tar dere og sprayer opp de skivene.
Yep.
Are you ready? Stand by. Finished and load so clear. Just clear, hammer down, holster.
Okay, that was another fun stage. This time there were 5 poppers, none of them triggering anything, and no moving targets. 10 paper targets, and really the only wrinkle in any plans here was the fact that the right hand safety angle was somewhat tight on the right hand targets. That really was the only thing. Before I shot this stage, I adjusted my sights so that I would hit somewhat higher, because one of the issues I'd had was that I hit low. And what I saw was that on the initial target, the one on the right hand side to begin with, I hit low, which, you know, is interesting. But then have a look at the longer distance targets at the end of the stage, where I actually hit, you know, center mass in the alpha zone. Very, very happy about my score here, by the way. 16 alpha hits, 6 charlie hits, and 3 deltas, no mics. I can't be anything but happy about that. Without any further ado, let's have a look at stage 8.
Load and make ready. Are you ready? Stand by. Finished and load and show clear. Clear hammer down. Holster.
Stage 8 was another relatively simple, very fun stage. 4 poppers, 4 paper targets, engage them as you see them, shooting strong hand only. And really, what I'm seeing in my results here is the payoff from all of the dry fire training that I've been doing over the past couple of months. It really has paid off. When I score 7 alpha hits and 3 Charlies, 1 Delta and 1 Mike, that is better than I would expect to do strong hand only. So I'm very, very happy with that. Other than that, my plan was very simple. Start on the leftmost target and keep going right. And that's the way I did it. You know, it seemed to work. Now, let's have a look at stage 9.
Yep. Are you ready? Stand by. Clear finish and load and show clear. If clear hammer down. Holster.
Stage 9 had 7 paper targets, and it was the only stage where we started in a position other than standing. Other than that, not a very challenging stage shooting wise. You notice that on the last target I have a failure to fire. So that was a light primary strike, an issue that I would see on and off throughout the match. But I was very, very happy about that. And I think one of the things that I'm most happy about is the fact that I know that for every single one of those 3 shots that I ran into the target at the end, I had a solid sight picture for each of them. So I ran the gun didn't run me. So that's very, very nice to see. Other than that, I'm very happy about how I was hitting. 11 alpha hits, 2 Charlie hits, and 1 Delta hit is, for me, excellent. I also want to point out the fact that stages 8 and 9 were run using the same target arrays as stage 7. The only thing that made it different was that the demarcated area was different and what targets you could see were different. I really like this kind of stage design where you really use the stage for all it's worth and you get multiple runs, meaning that all of the solutions that you've seen, that you've performed before, yeah, you know what, they still work, they're still valid, and so you can run your stage plan with small modifications. I really enjoyed that, so kudos to the build crew who built this stage. Now, let's move on to stage 10.
Are you ready? Stand by. Finish, reload for the next stage. 2017.
So, stage 10 had 7 paper targets, all on the right hand side of the stage, and it was just, a matter of drawing, engaging, moving, engaging. A fairly simple stage, and for the first time, I was actually able to move while shooting, which I was very happy about. This is something that I've been practicing in dry fire, but I've never actually done it neither in live fire practice or in a match. And I've got to say, I was very happy to finally be there and feel that it went the way that I felt it should. Results wise, this is not so great. 5 alphas, 7 charlies, 1 delta, and 1 Mike. I couldn't begin to tell you which is which. It's, whatever. Still, it was fun. And for me, that is the point. Now, let's have a look at stage 11.
Are you ready? Stand by. Finish and long show clear. Clear, hammer down, holster. Range is clear.
Stage 11 was another very fun stage. 2 poppers, 7 paper targets. I made a plan here which may or may not be the best plan, to basically do the park and bark. Essentially standing, shooting, then stand and shoot, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's certainly a very safe way of doing it. More than that, I'm not sure that engaging the first array left to right is the best idea. But you know what? Never mind. It worked well enough for me. 6 alphas, 4 charlies, 5 deltas, a Mike, and a no shoot. It should have been better, but I'm pretty happy about it. Now let's have a look at stage 12.
Are you ready? Stand by. Ready and loading show clear. If clear, hammer down.
So this is the reverse of stages 7, 8, and 9, where stage 7 was the long course, for which 8 and 9 became the shorter courses, the short and medium courses respectively. Here we have 2 medium courses which became 1 long course, and that presents a few interesting possibilities in that the first 2 runs are, they're runs in and of themselves, but they're also practice runs for the 3rd run, and that was very enjoyable. 2 poppers, 14 paper targets, and I'm mostly happy with how I did. Certainly much better effect on target this time, with a whopping 16 alpha hits. On the first popper, you can clearly see my arms shake when I engage the target, as it doesn't fire. It is what it is. I've never claimed to be a very particularly good shot, and I still need to work at my shooting skills. Other than that, I'm pretty happy about this one. Now, let's have a look at stage 1.
load and show clear.
So, stage 1 was a short course with 5 paper targets on the left-hand side to be shot strong hand only. No real difficulties in this one, although planning the stage was crucial. Because the leftmost target in the back array wasn't visible from the back. And so, a walkthrough and engaging concertedly was certainly important here. Not the best effect on target, but I did effectuate my plan reasonably well. I should have taken another couple of steps forward before beginning to engage the last 3 targets. Other than that, I am pretty happy about my performance here. Now, let's have a look at stage 2.
Yep. Are you ready? Stand by. Finished, unload and show clear. Just clear, hammer down. Holster.
Stage 2 was quite literally a mirror image of stage 1, up to and including the fact that it was shot weak hand only. A very fun stage, and again, stage planning was crucial here. And again, the rightmost target in the rear array wasn't visible from the downstage position, so positioning yourself properly was crucial. I'm pretty happy about how I did here. I should have taken one more step before starting to engage the final 3 targets, but other than that, I really don't have much in the way of complaints. I will note that my results of 4 alphas, 3 charlies, 2 deltas, and a single mic really, again, show how much I've improved just from spending time dry fired in practice. So yeah, that definitely is something that I need to continue doing. At any rate, let's proceed to stage 3, which was my final stage for the day.
Stand by.
So, stage 3. Long course, 14 paper targets, 10 of which we'd already engaged in stages 1 and 2, and then 4 new targets. This really shouldn't have been difficult. The only reason why it was difficult was that we were down to the wire. Our shooting time ended at a specific time, and that was it. At that point, we needed to be done. So much so that we had 2 shooters who weren't able to shoot this stage. I'm pretty happy about how I did, all things considered. I was stressed more or less out of my mind for a number of reasons, not the least of which being the fact that we were out of time. And that stress meant that I entirely failed to engage one of the targets and got a well-deserved procedural penalty for that one. Yeah, this was a zeroed stage for me with 1 procedural and 2 no-shoots. I have a hit factor of 0, but you know what, that's fine, because I'd made some semblance of a plan, and I mostly delivered on that plan. I had some very concise ideas about where to stand to engage which targets, and I did so. So, all in all, I am, despite it all, happy about it. So, 12 stages for a minimum of 202 rounds, if memory serves. And this was my first match as a fully qualified range officer. It was also my first match where I both worked as a range officer running the other 7 shooters in my squad and participated as a competitor myself. Certainly challenging, but a heck of a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the different stages, and while I applaud the reuse of stage elements that were present in stages 1 through 3 and 7 through 12, I do think that my favorite stage of the course was stage 5, which was, yeah, it was an absolute hoot to shoot. But yeah, I'm very, very happy to have participated at all. And looking at my records, the last time I shot any match was in December, which was an internal match, which is why there isn't any footage from it. And before that, it was in October of 2019. So it's been over half a year since I shot a proper IPSC match. And you know what? It shows. And that's fine. Because I've accepted the fact that I'm likely never going to get amazing. And as long as I have a good day, as long as I'm having fun, as long as other people are having fun, that's all that matters. So, all of that being said, I would also very much like to thank the match director and everyone who helped run the match. A particular thank you to NOP for arranging this match. This was a hoot, and I am very, very happy to have been part of it.